Oh, hello, everybody, and welcome back to MMA Mondays with your favorite host of the Pride Rules MMA podcast. As always, we are proudly sponsored by 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, and 2 Minute Warning Sports 360. I am tonight's host, the Reverend Tommy D, joined with me by the Latin sensation that's taken over the nation, El Profesor, Omar Sangarima. What is up, my brother?
Yo, what's going on? I like that I'm taking over the nation. Thank you.
You are. You are without a doubt taking over the nation.
Nice.
I mean,
I want to see some checks. I want to see some checks if I'm doing that.
After last week's MMA, I think anything is fucking possible.
We're living in Bizarro upside down world, bro. Like, this is...
Oh, my God.
Good God. Good God in heaven.
It was just, woof. In 25 years, I've been watching this sport. I never saw some shit like that before. Ever.
How many times have we been able to say that and not have it be hyperbole? This past week is probably the weirdest one in MMA's history, like, period.
Yes. And before we get into all that craziness, I know not everybody is a wrestling fan, but you know what? I am, and last night was a great night because I have been saying since the beginning Ronda Rousey was going to be an excellent WWE superstar, and last night she proved it. Omar, did you get to watch any of the highlights?
On your recommendation, I saw some of the highlights, and it's like she's been doing it forever. It was uncanny. Even I got to tip my hat. You know what I'm saying? It's real to me, damn it. Right? Isn't that the phrase? It's real to me, but it's crazy.
Yeah, man. It was nuts. I mean, look, they set it up beautifully. They did what they call a slow burn. You never got to see what she could really do in all the weeks leading up to WrestleMania, and they finally let it out. And what they did was they kept it real old school last night, real old school tag team wrestling, where Kurt Angle couldn't get over to her. She couldn't get into the match. Triple H and Stephanie were doing a lot of heel moves where Kurt Angle was just getting to her and they were pulling him away, and Stephanie was pulling Ronda away until Ronda finally got the tag, and she just went apeshit. Suplexes, I mean, it was, belly-to-back suplexes. It was nuts. Her timing was perfect. It was perfect. I only have one problem, Omar. Just one.
Her husband?
Stephanie McMahon was able to defend an armbar from Ronda Rousey. That was my only problem.
I mean, I know it's sports entertainment, but I think the angle that they're going for, I get it, with Ronda is kind of more of a shoot style. See, I've done my homework, all right? So it's done a little bit more of the strong shoot style, like what kind of Don Fry and Co. were doing over in Pride, or New Japan Pro Wrestling, I should say, better yet. So when you have somebody bust out of
WWE, remember when Ken Shamrock came into WWE?
Yeah, and so with and his kind of thing, right? His angle of things was how good of a fighter he was, and I feel like busting out of Ken Shamrock's ankle lock was a bigger deal, and I think it was kept as more of a something that would get a bigger pop down the road. So you're right. Hey, but it's WrestleMania, or it was WrestleMania, so I guess they wanted to, but not. You and I caught that. How many people do you think really, really caught that? Did you? You think?
Well, what I caught was she actually defended it correctly, clasping the hands, not allowing Ronda to separate the hands with her feet. So I give her that credit, but it's Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, I don't think Stephanie was an alternate at Abu Dhabi. I didn't see her on the mats at the Pyramid, right, defending arm bars at the IBJJF Invitationals. But
the response that Ronda's getting is 100% positive, and she's getting it from the IWC. The internet wrestling community is worse than the mixed martial arts community. They are worse.
Absolutely.
They are more harsh.
Yeah.
It's bad, and everybody is just going nuts over it. I mean, that entire place went nuts for her. She's getting the recognition that she deserved in MMA, that unconditional love that she deserved in MMA. She's getting it here, and I really think there's going to be a bright career for her there. I think it's going to work. I really hope it does. I really do, because Travis needs the money.
I hope she gets a divorce. That was where I was going with it. I was like, I hope this leads to a divorce, and her and Nakamura team up and eventually have children, which would be the best judo players of all time. Think about how good the judo would be, just from the genetics. There,
yeah,
right?
and she did get one judo throw in last night. She did get one throw in last night when Stephanie tried to hit her with a rear naked choke. She got her hips underneath and flipped her over. I couldn't stop laughing. It was hysterical.
I'm telling you, it's good, and she looks to be and she looks durable at how she's doing, you know. So I think she'll be able to hopefully put in the time, you know, with a full schedule. Because that's the one thing I've always respected. Love it or hate it, those bastards, man, take a beating, and they're on the road all the time. So, you know, to see somebody be able to take bumps and move around and look as good as she did on a big stage, it's pretty promising. It is.
Yeah, I the only thing that she needs is either to work on her promos, but she was never really good on the mic, even with the UFC. So I think she needs a manager. She needs somebody like a Paul Heyman.
You know what? You gotta hit that Toastmasters, that local Toastmasters chapter. You know what I mean? And you know, it meets every third Thursday of the month. They get together. You read little soliloquies and stuff. I know all about this. All right, trust me, Tommy. I used to have a stutter and not be able to talk in public, and look at me now. See what I'm saying? Get something. Rotary Club, maybe the Lions International might be able to help her out. You know, Model Senate. You know, go back to high school. That's what worked for me. But yeah, she needs help, bro. No, I'm saying.
She does.
In all honesty, I think a manager, because it worked out with Brock. Brock can't cut a promo to save his life. You know what?
Oh, and that's why I love you.
Death.
That's why I love you, because you just segued into my next topic.
You're welcome.
So, Dana White was there last night, sporting his Ronda Rousey T-shirt. He was not just there to see Ronda, because Brock was headlining the card against Roman Reigns, and surprisingly, Brock came out on top last night. Nobody was expecting that, because his contract ended at 11:59 p.m. He didn't walk out there until after friggin' midnight. The damn thing didn't end until, you know, almost 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wasn't it like 7 hours for the people in attendance?
Yes.
It was something absurd.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was nuts. And I watched all 7 hours of it. It was insane.
When you said yes, that struck me as like not just, hey, I know this fact. Oh, no, I'm remembering this. That happened yesterday. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah. And, you know, Brock kind of got himself in a little bit of hot water last night. And this is for real. This isn't for a show. For some reason, I am hoping Roman Reigns agreed to this. Brock took his MMA gloves off and just started lacing into him and split Roman Reigns' forehead wide open.
Do they not get along? Like, for real?
No, they do. They do. Brock did this with Randy Orton, too, where he elbowed him repeatedly in the head until he split him open. And Vince McMahon was not happy. Was not happy at all, because that's not the WWE today. You know, if it's accidental, that's one thing. This was blatant. And it didn't go over too well. But somehow, Brock Lesnar signed a new contract with the WWE. Nobody knows how long it's for. He's supposed to be defending his belt in, I think it's Saudi Arabia. I think they're calling it like the greatest Royal Rumble. A lot of people are thinking he's going to lose it there, because at the UFC press conference, Dana White himself said that there is a chance Brock Lesnar might be fighting the winner of Daniel Cormier and Stipe Miocic.
And Cormier loved it.
He didn't look like he loved it too much.
Stop it. He wants to get paid. That's why come on now. He was just shocked. But my man loves money, and both of them would beat the shit out of Brock Lesnar. So, either one of them wins.
Brock and DC would actually be kind of interesting because I would like to see the wrestling aspect of it. I would like to see that. Wouldn't you?
I'd like to see DC get an easy paycheck. So yes, I absolutely would. Because I have no doubt. Stop it. Come on, man.
I don't think DC's ever fought anybody as big as him.
He couldn't. Your favorite Samoan proved durable against that onslaught. So what do you think? What do you think DC is going to do? I know MMA math is inaccurate at best.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Come on, man. Really?
I don't know. I think the wrestling fan in me, the pro wrestling fan in me, wants to see that because I think DC is the biggest pro wrestling fan out there. I mean, he gets in arguments with guys on Twitter that are from the independent circuits.
Yeah, I mean,
like it's insane.
Yeah, no, this is. But now more than ever, after this week's ridiculousness, that needs to happen. I think Dana could tell. He's over leveraged in the Conor McGregor market. So the star market is sinking.
Let's take this into the somber portion of the show, because I mean, this week was the biggest embarrassment in the sports history. In an athletic commission that did not want the sport in the state of New York. Right? They didn't want the sport.
100%. They held out. They were the last state to legalize it, right?
And the superstar who fought on the show's Madison Square Garden card a year ago, I think, potentially puts the sport in jeopardy there. So let's start this from the beginning, shall we? So it was about, Wednesday? A video surfaced of Khabib and Artem arguing in a hallway. Now, everybody who knows Artem knows, he's Conor's mouthpiece when Conor's not twittering his face off. So Conor and Artem both have been talking nothing but shit about Khabib. Well, Conor wasn't there, but Artem was. So Khabib got in his face. And I love the people telling me that Artem got in Khabib's face. Well, that's kind of funny, because if you watch the video, Artem's trying to get away, and Khabib is chasing him. Does that sound like somebody who's getting in Khabib's face to you, Omar?
No. Not at all. I feel like there's a narrative here, so I don't want to interrupt too much, but yeah, no, not at all. No.
I mean, what the hell? If Conor's not there, he's
didn't
at home.
Nate Diaz say he said it best in one of his tweets? I think Nate is the big winner out of all this, one of the big winners, including Al. But, you'll get to that in a second. But didn't Nate go ahead, you try to come at him with a group like a bully, speaking about Khabib, and trying to yell at him. You try to punk him, and then you got his boy mad. But that's none of my business.
The guy who needed his brother to go after Khabib in a casino at the World Series of Fighting show.
You know what? If I had a brother, I'd bring him to go after Khabib. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'd bring you, Chris, a gun, a couple of grenades. Fuck, man.
So
the ordinance that would happen, I'd probably hope that it's on a Indian reservation so I wouldn't go to jail. Like, I wouldn't roll up on Khabib barehanded. Fuck you.
So out of all that, which it didn't amount to anything. They argued in a hallway, and then that was it.
Yeah. I've yelled at people drunk in hallways and hotels.
Yeah.
In much more worse fashion. So I don't understand why this turned into an international incident, but continue.
Yeah, so then Thursday, they're leaving the press conference. And here comes the pale group of fucking 30 guys who were let in by Macklin.
The White Walkers.
Now this is, yeah, the White Walkers, very good. Perfect. The White Walkers broke through the fucking wall.
They did.
And fucking Connor just decides to pick up a fucking dolly.
I don't know.
Throw it through the front window of the bus. This is the one time where if somebody told me to go sit at the back of the bus, I would have been there with fucking sunglasses on.
Right next to your girl Rosa, just chilling.
Yeah.
Like, yo, it's safe.
Throws
It's safer back here.
the goddamn dolly through the window, cuts Michael Chiesa's face, or Chiesa, however you want to say it. Ray Borg gets fucking glass in his eyeballs. Rose Namajunas almost breaks her fucking hand.
That's unfortunate.
And when the UFC showed the video, like the guys that are on the bus aren't letting Khabib off the bus.
Khabib wanted to too. There was 30 Irishmen outside, and Khabib's like, "Fuck it, it's go time." And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, Dagestanis are that crazy. There's one at my gym, and he is that nuts. Nicest guy in the world. He won a belt over the weekend. We can talk about that later. But he's crazy. Dagestanis are nuts. He would have rolled out of that bus and probably killed 3 people before being taken down. He might not have won. Well, he would have taken a few of the fuckers with him. His deadpan delivery of like, hey, all he had to do was tell me a time and a place, and we could have done this without security and cameras. 99% of people that say that, bluster. Khabib, I believe every word he says. I mark out hard for anything that Khabib's got to say, except for post-fight interviews, which we can get into later. That post-fight bullshit.
Throughout that whole thing.
He's like, I'm from Dagestan. This is like a Wednesday. This is what happens on my way to school.
But here's my question to you. Yeah. Here's my question to you. Khabib is fighting for the coward's belt.
Yeah. It
takes Khabib bitching Artem to get the fucker to come out to fight? That's what it takes?
I feel I know we've been going back and forth in the chat most of the weekend, and I still stand by most of what I said. I only flip-flop on some. But most of what I said was, I think this was a stunt that went bad. I feel as though Artem, going there was semi-choreographed. Like, hey, let's drum up some heat. And then I feel like Conor coming in was sort of like, hey, okay, whatever, let's see how much this goes. Almost like how Dana White was like, oh, please, don't throw water bottles. Oh, no, don't do that, right? But I feel as though everything was going swimmingly for promotion purposes until our boy went a little too high with that dolly. Like, if he hits the bottom of that van or the bus, nobody gives a shit. 100%. Nobody gives a shit, right? But he hit glass. You can't cut people. This is why Puerto Ricans aren't allowed in many places. Like, you just can't go stabbing folks with glass, shivs, knives, razor blades, little things that you boost in your butt. You can't stab people. Like, it's just frowned upon. So I feel as though everything else was fine. And it would have set up one of the most heated, biggest rivalries to pop off in forever, which the UFC would have needed. Everything up to people actually getting cut, I think, like, if it didn't have Dana White's express okay, it at least had, like, his complicit blind eye. But then he went and fucked up. I don't think
he's that good of an actor, Dana White. I legit think he didn't know what the fuck was going on, because when you saw him do that video, when Ari Emanuel decided to call him, and he was just like, I got media guys here, I got to go.
I can't talk to you.
Hung up on Ari. Yeah, and he just hung up on Ari. I don't think he saw anything. He knew Conor was there. He knew Conor had landed, let's just say. He knew Conor was in New York. I don't think that he knew that Conor was going to do what he did. And you're right. If he had hit the bus with it, like, the bottom of the bus, or, just throwing the bike racks and stuff like that, yes, you're right. Everybody would have said, oh, well, this is just for promotion. Who gives a shit? He threw it on a bus with a bunch of people who had nothing to do with anything. You know what I mean?
It's sad.
You don't do that. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking, like, how much, and Dana said it best. I don't know if he's on drugs. Now, why would that be the first thing that Dana says? Probably because he knows that the guy's a fucking coke fiend.
Yeah, that's, I think, like, it's a thing.
Muhammad Ali didn't even go that far, and he was the king of promotion.
What, like, do cocaine? I don't think he did cocaine, but...
No.
That's
like,
messed up.
smash a fucking, window of his opponent. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't go that far.
But he's also a black dude. Like, back then, if a black dude did that, he would have gotten shot in the face. Let's be honest, Tommy. Like, that's a little, I get the sentiment, but, I don't think, like, oof,
Well, because there was nobody else that was better with promotion than Muhammad Ali.
100%. Or CM Punk, your boy, your favorite. I think it went sideways. It got away from him, and then now he's got to pay some consequences. But do I think that Conor McGregor's done in the UFC? Absolutely not. I don't understand anybody. Like, I think you were saying that too, Tommy. Do you really think he's gone and done? There's too much money here, bro. I don't give a shit.
Well, he might be fighting for free. He might be fighting for free with as much money as he's probably going to fucking owe.
No, he owes. Come on. Ray Borg's going to get $25 because he's a small guy, so his eye ain't worth that much, all right? It's a smaller set of eyes to be in.
Yeah, but you don't know what kind of fines the state of New York is going to hit him with. You don't know what kind of fines the commission is going to hit him with.
Then he just doesn't fight in New York anymore. Fuck it. Get out of here.
Yeah, the place that made him, that made him the superstar, winning the second belt.
What I love is that New York tried its best. The commission tried its best to then derail the entire card in like a sideways way. Did you get that sense too?
Oh, yeah. Come
on.
So let's keep going with that. So we knew Michael Chance was out, so that sucked because now Anthony Pettis was going to be out of a fight. So that's one fight down. Artem, the fucking idiot, was involved in that. So that's 2 fights down. Ray Borg had glass in his eye. So that's 3 fights down. And then, to add insult to injury, the New York State Athletic Commission would not allow Max Holloway to weigh in because they said that it was too much weight for him to lose on 6 days. So there was your main event.
Yeah.
I never saw a mad scramble for an opponent in my entire life. And Anthony Pettis, I get it. You want to make money. You have the opportunity to fight for the lightweight championship, and you want to complain about money? You're complaining about the money you're getting paid? Are you fucking stupid?
He would have gotten a fat check for saving the card undisclosed, I feel.
I'm sure.
So,
I'm sure.
Yeah, come on, man. Quinta did. He's not going to tell nobody, including the IRS, and I'm glad for him. But he doesn't need to, and he's definitely, he's still not like Dana's favorite guy, but you're that clutch.
He is
Dana's
now.
got a duffel bag for you.
He is now. He's Dana's favorite guy now. He really is. He begged for the fight. He wanted it. I mean, how great is that he weighed in 0.2 pounds over, and Dana still said this fight is for the goddamn belt. If he wins it, he's the champion. Now, here's what I don't understand. Let's say Al had won. We'll get to the fight. We'll talk about the fight, but let's say Al had won. Would the only state he's not considered the champion be New York?
Nah. Come on, man. Belts don't mean anything, so who cares? That's my answer to that.
Oh. That era is over, dude.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's still here. Khabib would love nothing more than to fight Conor and make a lot of money. You know who else would like to fight Conor? Every other person on the UFC roster. All right?
Yeah.
Borg would like to fight Conor with one eye. He'd fight him with an eye patch, looking like Solid Snake rolling around in the tall grass in Vietnam. And I think that would be cool. I'd watch that fight. All right? There's nobody that fights Conor McGregor that I wouldn't watch, that nobody else, that anybody else would say, no, I'm not gonna watch. I gotta fight. I know you hate him to death, but he's still the stir that stirs the drink, bro. You know, he is. For good or ill. Why do you think they're making inroads to try to get Brock Lesnar? Why do you think they're still floating the possibility of even potentially having Mayweather come in? You know, if he's safe, if he's alive after today. We can get into that later. But they're thirsty for stars.
Conor was overshooting again, I guess, huh?
Oh my God! How you crazy son of a gun. But yeah, I don't even know. You threw me off on that one. Overshooting again. Come on, man. He's got warrants, right? He can't be doing that. But what are you gonna do, man? The era is still very much alive. So.
Well, you know what?
Name a bigger draw right now in the UFC. It's crazy.
I don't know.
With a belt, without a belt.
New York City Transit? I don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't. New York City fucking Transit. The Barclays Center bus staff. No, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
I don't know, man.
Sometimes.
I am.
Oh, my God.
I am. That was the biggest coward fucking move ever. And, if the MMA community... what I hate about it is the MMA community is actually justifying what he did. Like his the nut huggers. I don't condone it, but I understand. You understand what? What do you understand? The fact that you and your lapdog were talking shit about the guy. You weren't there. Your lapdog was. Had you been there, Khabib would have done the same thing to you. You had no right to go and do that. Keep your fucking mouth shut. Don't talk shit over Twitter. Talk shit to the guy's face. That's where I stand on it. No?
I don't know. No. I could see myself. I would have aimed lower. That's my thing. That's the only, and that's Monday morning quarterbacking. Right there.
I know you like the guy. I know you do. I know you. I like
what
him.
He does. He brings more dollars to everybody's pockets in a roundabout way so far. The second he stops doing that, and then it just becomes like a Tanya Harding situation, where it's just sad.
Well, I mean, isn't it? Because he hasn't put any dollars in anybody's pocket in 300 and how many days?
He put mad dollars in the pockets. Are you kidding me? There's still people. Oh, Christ. This entire... how many pay-per-views did he sell this weekend? You can't argue that with me.
I don't know. I haven't seen the numbers, to be honest with you.
But whatever they are, I want to say there's a 10% counter effect. As crazy as it seems, man. Like, he's still that guy. Do I wish it was different? Yes. Because I wish people that were more deserving of the spotlight had the spotlight and would make money. But I'm not ridiculous in blinding myself to the fact that the man's the biggest draw in the sport still. He is.
Well, Shooter McGavin said it best. You know what's a draw? A golfer with an arm growing out of his ass. People will watch anything.
Truth. I mean, they will.
Yeah.
And who eventually won? Did Shooter win? Did Shooter win that entire dust up? Nah.
No, he didn't.
I distinctly remember Shooter McGavin taking one in the ass. That movie.
And I hate to say this. This part I hate to say, but those fight cancellations that did happen, and it sounds so wrong for me to say this, but it seems like it made for a better fight card, especially the main card.
How dare you?
Don't you think?
I don't know, man. That's tough. I can't, there's a lot of things that I'll co-sign and back you up, but you basically wished Michael Chiesa got cut. That's my
No, I'm not. I'm
fine.
just saying it's weird, but like the main card was amazing the way it was Saturday night. That wasn't the official main card before. You know what I mean? Like Zabit getting to be on the main card. That fight was great.
That dude's an animal.
Yeah, but most people wouldn't have seen that unless they had Fight Pass. You know what I mean?
True.
Most people
That's
would not
true.
have seen that unless they had Fight Pass. And you got to give Felice some credit because she fought a good fight with Carolina.
None.
Got to give her
I got to
credit.
give her. No, I don't actually.
Why?
America.
Wow, I can't believe you hate the girl that much.
I can't stand her. I just really can't. You know, she reminds me of every girl. No, she reminds me of every girl in community college that was like going for a fitness degree that eventually started working at Dunkin' Donuts once they couldn't hack it. So like I couldn't.
Wow.
I just can't stand it. Just that's the vibe I get, man. Shout out to Dunkin' Donuts workers.
You went Dunkin' Donuts and not fucking like Victoria's Secret. You know, like you went straight for Dunkin' Donuts.
Nah, she's pulling triples.
Jesus.
She's pulling triples over in East Fishkill, New York. The three donkeys out there. Yeah. They.
I'm sorry.
If she does well.
Credit.
Yeah, if she does well, they let her hold the money, Tommy. So you know she's moving on up. But oh, God. No, man,
I gotta give her credit. You know, she stood in there with her, man. She stood in there.
Mediocre?
She stayed in the pocket with her.
Oh
God.
We getting credit. We getting credit. Yeah, dude. Are you kidding me? I was called the Salt Baron today by one of my coworkers. I'm like, you know what? I love that. That's gonna be my thing.
Baron von Salty over here.
Baron von Saltenberg.
Your fucking wrestling name.
That's me. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna come in with a fucking cape and a monocle, just looking all sorts of fascist. But I can't. I don't know. Who's next for Carolina then? Right? Relevancy?
Rose.
Know. Yeah.
No, this was
nobody.
You know, they were saying it during the fight that this fight is the possible next opponent for the champ in that division. So
like Rose is going to be Germany now? She's just going to beat up Polish bitches for like the last fucking year, a year and a half.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you are on a roll tonight.
If you go back 3 months, though, right? She beat up Joanna once, beat her up twice. Oh, no, wait. We got to go back to Krakow and crack some heads. Like, what the fuck, man? Have her, I don't know. Who else is there, though? You know, I'm answering my own question. There's really not much else at 115 that I want to see. And do I want to see her move up? Not necessarily. So, you know.
Yeah.
I want to see her and Pat Barry flow roll. Like that I'd pay to see. And not in the creepy way. Like, because I think she catches Pat. I think her jiu-jitsu's better.
I'm sure she does. I mean, he never was really known for jiu-jitsu.
Nah, man. He's like one of those, like, fake purple belts.
Yeah, he's a kickboxer.
No, I think he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, though. Like, legit.
Oh, is he?
I heard somewhere, you know. And I don't want to disrespect the lineage. You know, I know I just did, but hey. Somebody legitimately gave him a...
Stop it. I love Pat Barry.
Yeah. Ketchup and rice all day. Team ketchup and rice. Hashtag fucking Filipino pride.
Well, you know what, though? I mean, Felice wanted a big-name fight, and I'm sorry, as much as you dislike her, she gets some credit for standing in there with her, because you saw what Carolina did to her last opponent.
I'm just sad. I'm sad that she didn't win, because what I heard is that one of her sponsors was going to give her jaw reduction surgery if she won the fight. So... now she's got to go around with that can opener attached to the bottom of her face for the
Brian
foreseeable
Brewery
future.
at Sucker Punch Entertainment. I do not co-sign the opinion of my co-host.
Come on, man. Like, she's not as bad as Magana, all right? But
No,
she's posting ass and titty photos just for publicity, and then she's wondering why.
She did that before. Yeah, but she's been doing that forever.
Yeah, but it's a little
Not
disingenuous. Like you can't post those and then cry when you're like, I'm not getting any younger and I don't know what to do. Like, well, if you're banking on this as your meal ticket aside from relevancy, then don't cry when you start seeing the well dry up. You know, like I think turned me off because it's like, you know, would I want my niece to look at Felice and be like, "Yep, that's the blueprint. That's
yeah,
what I
that was
want to
kind
follow."
of fishing for compliments. I kind of had a little bit of a problem with that too. It was fishing
Plus, she
for
had
compliments,
cornrows.
but
She was white and she had cornrows in, and that right there, I was like, I'm getting off of this crazy train. I'm getting off at fucking Shinra Station here. Final Fantasy
Lord.
VII reference. I'm telling you, this Final Fantasy VII reference for the win. But you know what? God bless her. She'll always have work because there's nobody else there to fight. So, I don't know. 115's a little dry. I mean, where does Joanna go? Maybe she fights Joanna. Fuck it.
Oh,
Let's make all the crazy. Right? I don't know.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? I mean, I guess that could kind of make sense if Carolina's going to be fighting Rose.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
2 L's make a Dutch, I guess, right? One of them's got to come away with a win after that, and fucking there you go. She's got a 1-fight win streak. After that, one of those 2 broads will be on the comeback, right? And then the wrong side of 30 for both of them.
Oh, wow. Well, you mentioned you called Rose Germany. So let's talk about Chris Gutzmacher.
Good transition.
The beating he put on Joe Lauzon. I mean, Lauzon is a fucking warrior. The guy's 34 years old with 43 fights. I mean, I just think his style just, it's. I don't think he's got it anymore, man. He's just been
when your
way,
age,
way
when
too
your
many
record,
wars.
When your record is your age plus 10, like collectively, you might be outpacing yourself. You feel me? You might be over revving the engine a little bit. And I think we saw him walk into a wall called age. And I hate to say it, but he looked terrible from the opening go. Right from the get-go. And one of my friends that I was watching it with said, maybe he's going to take a little bit to warm up. And I just was like, I just said nothing. Because I'm like, he looks cooked.
Yeah,
finally,
he did. I mean, he was throwing punches and like they were landing, but they really weren't landing much. They weren't landing hard enough. The takedowns he was going for was almost just a way to tie the guy up to stop him from fucking bludgeoning him. And big ups to his corner for just stopping that in the second round. He made it. He made it through that second round, and that's that was a win. The fact that he made it through that entire round, but I'm glad he didn't come out for a third because I didn't want to see that anymore. You know what I mean? I don't want to see it anymore.
No, nothing in me, even as a sadistic fan of violence as you are as well. Neither one of us wanted to see that continue. Zero.
Not when it's that one-sided.
Yeah.
Not when it's that one-sided.
It was terrible.
Like the Spencer Fisher, Sam Stout fights, those are the kind of fights that I like, where it's just brutal through and through, but not one-sided like that. That was bad. That was bad. And I don't want to say I hope this is it for Joe. I mean, maybe if he still wants to fight, he can go to Bellator, see what he could do there. But as far as the UFC goes, I don't see him going anywhere in that lightweight division.
He needs to stop fighting his brother in the backyard for free. I feel as though a couple of years were taken from us because the Lauzon brothers just beat the shit out of each other at like Thanksgiving and Christmas and Memorial Day and President's Day, Or he should fight, or he should fight Felice Herrig. We should make that fight. I think that would be like an even.
The ears
matchup.
versus the chin.
I think so, man. One of them's got to go, right? The immutable force versus, or the immovable object versus the immutable force, right? One of them's got to break. Stephen Hawking pops out of that collision. It's like, I'm alive, bitches.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But it's amazing to me that was the curtain jerker fight for the main event. And you know what? I'm kind of glad it was, because Zabit Magomed Sharipov and Kyle Bochniak, what a goddamn fight. Bochniak is a fucking madman, first of all. That guy is a madman.
Yeah.
But Zabit is the truth. A Dagestani who can throw just amazing strikes. Spinning
They can strike.
That switch kick was nuts. That trip takedown, I didn't even see that it was a trip takedown until they showed it in slow motion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, of course I did, because I had to clean out my eyes. I was starting to be like, oh, it's getting a little late. I'm an old man. And then I saw that. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Was it did the other dude trip just fall? No, he busted a trip takedown from the fourth dimension. That shit doesn't, you don't hit that stuff on anybody, but apparently he did. And the way he hit it, Tommy, I know you could tell, was he hits that all the time in training. You get me?
Oh my God.
Right? It's like that's his go-to. Whereas it's like a flying armbar of takedowns. Like, it's some bullshit.
But now the MMA community sees why everybody in that division was turning down fights with him.
It's crazy.
Now you see that.
Yeah. And nonchalantly. He's nonchalantly excellent, which is absurd. All right? He tried some cartwheel jumping back kick, I think, at one point, and connected with one of them. He tried it a couple times. One of them, he got the lower part of the shin, top part of the foot, on the neck. He didn't quite connect with the face on one of them. If he had, he would have knocked him out. Like, I don't know, man. It's just every time he did something else, everybody in the living room I was in was just like, "Wow, this is nuts! Wow, that's crazy! Oh, that's nuts!" It was just.
Well,
it was
Joe
absurd.
Rogan just about creamed in his pants with everything that he did.
Well, for good reason.
Like Joe was more animated than usual, probably because he was with the poor man's Joe Rogan as well as John Anik.
No, he was with his evil twin brother.
Yeah.
He was Joe and then Toe Rogan. They were phenomenal. It was Joe Rogan and Toe Rogan. But no, they were great. That was, I mean, I love DC, but how about we get more of those three?
Yes.
In the booth on big events. Because they had tremendous chemistry. They just gelled together. Very, very
John
well.
Anik was just there. He was just there. And I like Anik, but he could have said nothing, and it would have been fine.
Should have. That's kind of where I'm at,
So who do you think they should give Magomed next? I know he called out what's his name, your Mexican brethren that Frankie beat the living piss out of.
They should let him do that. They should, and they should have it in Texas to get a pop. Be like, what if Russia had sold Alaska, but then asked for parts of Mexico in return? It's just like some bizarro side story of historical science fiction. But I think that's the sort of fight I'd want to see. I know everybody's high on him, but I don't want to see him go too far too fast. That'd be a tremendously eye-pleasing fight. Think about the weird chess moves they would do in the air. It would look like a fucking kung fu movie, right? Like they'd be floating, fucking balancing on blades of grass and shit, kicking each other in the face. It'd be tremendous, man. I don't think either. Oh Christ! Whatever the fuck his name is, not Yair Rodriguez. All right, the Russian Shaggy from Scooby Doo. That's what I heard him get called. I was in, he was looking for a fucking mystery and some Scooby snacks, and all he found was Bochanak to beat the shit out of, and it worked. The chin on Kyle, give him that much,
right?
Man can take a beating. A lot of other people would have gotten knocked the fuck out about 4 times in that fight.
Or at least tried to avoid the punches.
Or switch to plan B of some sort, but not been like, you know what? Now is when plan A is going to work. No. How about now is when plan A is going to work? No, I got this, guys. Now. No, bro. You're just going to get pieced off, which is what happened, but it made for an exciting fight. And it was an exciting fight at a pivotal time in the pay-per-view. You know, it was one of those where it was like
he was like a drunk frat boy on steroids at a fucking college party. Punch me, bro. Knock me out, bro. That's what he reminded me of.
Which is fine.
It was nuts.
We need more of that. We need more of that
maybe.
In the UFC.
Maybe.
I think,
but,
man.
You know, like, I guess. I mean, that's
I
a good way
guess.
to see somebody get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. What do you think? You know, come on now. You don't think that'd be great?
I think so.
Yeah, right? Like, come on now.
I want to see a heavyweight do it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're such a sizist.
I want to see.
Terrible.
I want to see our Samoan boy do that to Francis Ngannou. That's what I want to see.
Fucking animal. You fucking animal. I knew you were. I was like, yo, leave the poor bastard alone. All right, his poor ears are ringing. He's thinking it's the tinnitus from all the wars he's been in, and it's just you talking shit. Fucking dickhead, right?
I think he'd get paid more than $5 if he fought Ngannou.
You get 6, and you get, you know,
$750.
He could marry down there, but I don't know, man.
So yeah, I hope
country.
they make the Yair Rodriguez and Zabit fight, even though Rodriguez said no a couple months ago when Zabit wanted to fight him. I guess Rodriguez wanted to see what he had on the big stage, and Zabit showed up, and on the big stage, Yair didn't. Is that safe to say?
100%. There's and what I like is that it all got bounced around, and it was still, you know, so it was one of those high pressure situations where he could have maybe shit his pants, you know, but he didn't. He fucking went in there and just dropped massive fucking Balkan bombs on Bolshanak. Poor bastard. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So there's no, you know.
That led way into the Renato Moicano and Calvin Kattar fight. That fight was all right. Kattar definitely got kind of outclassed. What would you think?
I'm glad that you're finally deciding that it's Kattar, not Cater, because I don't know. I'm not even busting your balls. Like that's my biggest concern with this fight. You know, if you want to talk about people that were the biggest beneficiaries of all this card juggling, it was probably them, because I don't think they had any business being on the main card. But I guess it was an exciting fight. I mean, you know, could have had fucking CM Punk in there, I guess. So, you know, thank God for small miracles. But, you know, that's all I got to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
I got up to get snacks. Right. I got up to get snacks during that fight. I'm not going to even lie to you. Like, I could still see it from the snack bar. My friend had a little island in his house. It's just not like, you know, I had an obstructed view, right? The couch is low, so I still could see the action. I was doing my due diligence preparing for this.
It was a good
podcast,
intermission. It was a good intermission.
I took a piss. I got a little Stromboli. It was a good time.
They should have played the "Let's Go Out to the Lobby" song. They
really should have, because you know what? My friend had a Nintendo Switch, and I was eyeing it lasciviously during that fight. That's what my feelings on the fight. If nothing else tells you how I felt about that fight, it should have been like, you know what? I want to give somebody this work in some Mario Kart while this fight goes on. You know, but there's only one screen, so it would have been tough. The other fight fans would have been like, no, but yeah, snacks, Mario Kart, take a piss.
Well, you know, it was a nice kind of lull in the action to set us up for the co-main event. And what a fight.
Jesus Christ.
What a fight.
I swear.
I mean, Rose definitely got Joanna's respect after that. Wouldn't you say?
I think she got everybody's respect, because a lot of people, as crazy as it seems, were calling the last fight a fluke.
Kareem!
Yeah, right. Like, where's he at? I want to hear him fall asleep on on the podcast again. It's not a party till it's a Kareem falls asleep party, I guess. Please don't choke me, bro. I know you're tough. But what's going on? Like, everybody said this lady, she got caught. She just caught Joanna. Joanna's gonna come back, and Joanna's like, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was the weight cut. It wasn't. I was like, come on, man. We said it. Two of us said it last week. Was when you're pointing fingers somewhere else, makes me a little concerned. I want. You know what they say, and you've been in management, Tommy. You always want to look for people with inner locuses of control. You want people to say, hey, listen, what can I change? What can I do to make the team better? What can I do to affect the outcome of the future events so that they're different from these unwanted past events? You want somebody to go to a Tony Robbins seminar, remind him about the Me Too movement, and win an argument. You don't want Joanna to come back out and say, hey, listen, it was not my fault. All right? You know who else says that? I'm going to say this is the second time I'm bringing her up because I saw the I, Tonya movie. Tonya fucking Harding says that shit. All right? Not a champion in the UFC, Thomas. So you go tell me.
It was like Mike Tyson when he lost to Buster Douglas when they were trying to say that the ref's count was too fast. Blaming everybody else. Didn't blame the fact that he was doing blow and slanging Japanese hookers the entire time instead of training.
And literally slanging him because I think he was roughing him up in an unprofessional way. All right, I'm all for sex work, but not when you hit him, and you're not paying to hit him. All right, I draw the line somewhere. Okay, two consenting adults, then it's fine.
So there's no excuse this time, even though
no, of course not.
Joanna's sitting there saying that she thinks that she won. I don't know what fight she was in.
No, stop it. Yeah, no. Let's the. It's almost like they were at a crossroads, and this fight would have been great to have a trilogy, but I don't know, because now what this starts to make me think about was how much of the tight contest with Carolina was great, or was it Joanna losing a stop? It starts to cast into doubt a lot of things. Not to take anything away from Rose, but in terms of looking at the future prospects for both fighters, I start to wonder, has Joanna been in too many wars? She had an extensive Muay Thai career.
No, I don't think it's that. I just think Rose is her kryptonite.
Do you think she beats everybody else except Rose?
Yep.
Even now?
Yep.
That's a Polish birth certificate, bro. She could be closer to 40 than she's letting on. I'm just going to put that out there, let it simmer. You can drive that around the block for a little bit, see how it feels. What do you think? Still?
I mean, a lot with her was her intimidation before the fight.
Yeah.
The fact that she's lost twice in a row, she might lose that intimidation a little bit, but she's still a great fighter. I think she beats everybody else but Rose. I mean, maybe if they fought a third time, she ends up beating Rose, but I have to see her fight again to make that distinction. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't that be crazy if she comes back and just with a lack of opponents, she gets a third crack at the champion, and then she wins? Then what do you do? Do you have like a best out of 5 at that point? Like, what the fuck do you...
Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't see anybody in that division beating her or Rose at this point, especially Rose. Whatever it is that Rose needed to find, she found it.
Probably like 3 square meals a day and a roof over her head, I think, right? I think that got her.
Jesus.
I mean, let's not go that far out of the box, Thomas. Like, I think it's just fucking stability. CPS is not trying to take her away from anybody she's staying with anymore. Like, that'll do wonders for a fucking fighter's mental state, all right? She's feeling herself if she's walking around in sweatpants to Joe Rogan interviews, all right? That told me one of two things. When she did that, I'm like, she's either fucking out of her goddamn mind, or she's found the female version of the Big Lebowski mojo. And now I'm thinking it's the second one.
That's
right?
the latter.
She's the female version of the dude. Yeah, I think it's the latter. She's the female version of the dude, bro. All right, she's just sitting there, minding her own business. They can fight. They can throw hands. All right.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
I want to use my gift.
Wow.
To help people.
I mean, that was 5. I don't want to say it was one-sided, but I don't think Joanna won.
It was 5 rounds
she won
of holy shit. She's gotten that much better in the stand-up.
Right.
That's what got me. Yeah, it was like, and she's young, and she looks even better than she did. Even obviously the last fight was a very small sample size, so you can't really make too many. Can't extrapolate that much from it. But I feel as though she was even moving better than she did in the other fight. Joanna just adjusted, and so we had a good back and forth brawl because Joanna's a great fighter, all-time great at that weight class. Don't get me wrong, but if she improves this much for her next fight, nobody's touching her. If she goes 2 or 3 fights where she's improving these types of leaps and bounds, she's going to have to move up. That's a different sort of conversation. But
yeah, I don't know.
What do you mean? Come on, man.
I don't know about her moving up.
She should.
I mean, she might not have a choice.
For the money. For the moolah.
Yeah, well, it's for the money, but she might not have a choice. If she wins 2 or 3 more fights,
right? She's got to get that.
What's the record? What's the record that Ronda Rousey still has?
Was it what, like 5? Or
something
was it
like
7?
that.
It was It was something.
Like that.
Something pretty up there, yeah, for the females. Maybe she fights Mighty Mouse.
Well, here's my question. Let's say Cyborg does it. Do you give her that moniker, even though she's fighting people that don't fight in the UFC?
Until Cyborg fights a man and wins, I don't want to talk about her as the GOAT. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Guess the Nunes fight will be that's the test. To me, that's
is
the
it
test.
though?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Nunes is a little light for her. She was looking small. I don't know who she was standing next to during the promos and shit. Who fought up ATT yesterday? Was it Joanna? No. There was somebody that fought out of ATT and Amanda walked out with him. And I just was like, wow. She's kind of, but then again, she's still a lady, so I don't know what I'm thinking. Maybe it's, I'm picturing her as a giant lion with the persona, but she's small, man. I think Cyborg runs through her. I really do.
Well, we'll hopefully find out, but I mean, so we
who knows? Maybe Connor fucks that one up. Comes in.
We talked about this earlier. I mean, I guess Carolina's got to be the one that's next in line, right? Because I mean, I know Claudia Gadelia's got a fight coming up, but I don't even think she's in title contention talk, right?
No, come on, no. She's got to string some more stuff together, and hopefully this latest one is impressive. And then I think she'll be in the chat. But Carolina, I mean, she's durable. She wasn't really that excited when people were throwing shit at a van that she was in, and her answer was gangster. Were you upset? No, I'm from Poland. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was concerned about Rose, just because, I mean, the girl travels with a therapy dog. This is a girl who's been through more shit than anybody you could ever know in your entire life. Yeah. And she is somewhat mentally stable. She's not all the way stable. Like you heard Pat Barry say it. She's crazy. Pat said it right in front of her.
Yeah.
And
if Pat Barry's calling you crazy, that's a low bar.
Yeah. So I was worried about that. Because they said that she was shaken up, and they said that she almost had broken her hand. So it was just like, oh shit. If we lost that fight, they probably would have had to scrap the pay-per-view. They would have had to.
You would have had to pay me to watch it.
Yeah.
At that point, if that was the case. You feel me? Like there would have been nothing that I would have really wanted to fucking know about that fight.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? it was one hell of a co-main event. You couldn't have scripted it any better than that. I'm glad it went the distance. I'm glad it went the distance. For sure, I'm glad it went the distance because that's what I wanted to see. So, with that, let's jump on to the main event. And I wrote an article about this because 11 years ago to the day, Matt Serra shocked the world by knocking out GSP. And, pretty much Al was given the same odds that Matt was given. Not going to happen. Going to get destroyed. But Al's got balls big enough to fill a dump truck.
Yo.
And said,
got crazy bull ass.
And the funny part is he was on the MMA Hour right after the Barboza fight and said to Ariel, he goes, I don't want any part of Khabib. You see what he just did to Barboza? I want no part of that. But he had no problem stepping up. And why not? It's for the lightweight championship. Why not?
It's the best time to do it. He was in a no-lose situation. All right? I don't care. Yeah, he lost. But he was legit in a no-lose situation going to take that fight. And I'm glad he did.
Yeah. I mean, anything could have happened. Khabib could have slipped on a banana peel.
I was
somehow.
You know how crazy that would have been?
And Al caught him.
That would have been crazy, man. He gets bit by a dog or something. Gets rabies.
And I wanted to talk to you about this because I was getting really frustrated. Like, Maxim Batty from Facebook? Oh, my God. Jesus Christ on a motorbike. I was shaking as I'm reading this stuff because some people, they just don't get it. Yes, there are holes in Khabib's striking game because he doesn't fucking need it. He doesn't need it. He can take you down. Oh, but Al was shedding the takedowns off later on. Do you know why? Because Khabib was trying to strike. I seriously think after that second round, Khabib was just like, I'm going to keep it standing to make the fight more exciting. Don't you think so? Because the third round, he went for one takedown. And he didn't get it.
That's crazy. Yeah. But
the first 2 rounds, he was doing it without a problem.
Yeah.
But Al, the guy rolls with the best in the business. He's got college wrestling. So he's good on the ground. Khabib wasn't able to, I don't want to say do what he did to Barboza, because Barboza is good on the ground too. He's able to get back up. But it just seemed like Khabib was just like, you know what? I want to make this, one-sided my way. I'm going to keep it standing. Al was getting some shots off, but he was throwing one shot at a time. Why was he throwing one shot at a time? Because if he goes for a combo and Khabib changes levels, now he's on his back trying to get back up again.
Yeah, he was just trying to snipe,
Yeah,
he's at that point,
you know what? I was hoping, please, just let one of these get through. Let one of these just land on his chin.
How crazy would that have been?
It would have been great. Yeah. But he fought a good fight. Al fought a great fight. Like, what was the guy supposed to do? He was not prepared to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov.
And who
you
really
don't get prepared.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah. And then everybody's like, oh, Max would have destroyed him. Tony would have destroyed him. Why? Because why? Because he was standing. He wouldn't have fought them the same way. The first thing he would do is put them on their back and keep them there. That's what he would have done. Did you see any submission work coming out of Al? Now, Al's no submissions. You don't come out of the Serra camp not knowing how to do submissions, especially off your back. There's a reason why Matt is called the Kimura Savage.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just like I said, there's a no lose. The guy went out. He gave 100%. And his stock is only going to rise from here. And he recognized
absolutely.
that. And he jumped on the opportunity. Not like Anthony fucking Pettis.
Yeah.
Jackwagon that he is. Whoever's in Anthony Pettis' circle needs to get fucking fired. I wanted to talk about this for the entire 4 days. When I heard about this, I'm like, oh, Tommy and I better get into this. Who the fuck tells that dude to not take that fight for whatever amount of money? You take that fight for fucking free, honestly, because like I said before, you don't pay taxes on the bonus that Uncle Dana's going to give you for saving his fucking ass. All right, because there was another 2 to 3 hours of ridiculousness of who's going to save this card. Khabib's over there going like, well, who the fuck are they going to get to fight me? Like, for another 2 hours because Pettis just doesn't nut up and say, hey, listen, I'm this, I'm that. As a fighter in this fight game, especially let's talk about this, especially at Pettis' stage. A former champion, and at the stage that Pettis is at in his career, what? You're saving all your marbles to make a legitimate title run at 155? Hey, bro, you're on that other side of the coin here. You're on the downswing. Whoever told you to go to 145 should be shot. And whoever told you to miss this opportunity should also be taken out behind the woodshed and beaten within an inch of their life. Whoever the hell is giving this guy advice needs to get Showtime kicked the fuck out of his camp. I don't understand it because it's a no-lose situation. You go in, you're fighting the most feared boogeyman of the division, somebody that people say has a legitimate chance to out-grapple Ben motherfucking Askren, which for the hardcore fans, people know, and if you don't know, look them up on Wikipedia. You have people making rumors that Khabib could theoretically give GSP a run for his money. All these crazy things, right? And you're telling me that, hey, you're not even expected to win. You got it on not just 6 days' notice. Look at all the press Max was getting for taking it on 6 days' notice. You take it on, like, what, less than a day? Just go out there. Fucking do it. Remember why, now I understand why he got punked out and his shit got set ablaze in Milwaukee. All right? He's a bitch.
Yeah,
of hearts. Like,
I
what
lost
the fuck,
a lot
man?
of respect. I lost a lot of respect for him.
That shit. I couldn't believe it. Okay, like I was sitting there. The guy that sits next to me, he's got the office next to me. Big MMA guy. He's the guy. The whole crew gathers at his house. He's the guy with the nice island and the Stromboli. Great spread. Shout out to James. He was saying, the two of us were going back and forth on Friday, like, well, playing whack-a-mole on who's left. For fuck's sake, Paul Felder would have taken the fight. All right, talk about an out of left field gentleman. In New York, New York State Commission was doing its best, and Pettis has the temerity to be like, nah, man, unless you give me more money, I'm not gonna fucking do it. Do it for free. You're gonna be a goddamn legend for taking this fight.
I know somebody who would have took that fight. I know somebody who would have took that fight.
Who?
Frankie motherfucking Edgar.
Frankie Edgar would have taken that fight. People anybody within shouting. I guarantee you call one of the Miller brothers, they step up to take that fight. Like random people on the East Coast. Brad DeSeer would have taken that fight for fuck's sake. Yeah, fucking put me in. I'll cut. Like, there's anybody that's hungry and that's a fighter that has that blood in their eyes still in the morning. Like, this makes me question Pettis' fucking life choices at this point in time. And I know that you can counter back with me and say, hey, listen, it was not a calculate, too much risk for not enough reward, this, that, and the third, this is the fight game. And I'm usually on that train, but it was disingenuous.
Not enough risk for not enough reward. It was for the fucking lightweight belt. There's no excuse. You're offering the fight for the lightweight championship belt. I would take that for $100 fucking dollars.
I would take it for $100. And some those ice packs that you crack to put on you, for after the fucking beating that I was going to take. But Khabib, you're not expected to win. You have 24 hours, so just go out there and have fun. Go out there and swing your meaty clackers the way Al was and go down in fucking fighting history. We will never stop talking about Al Iaquinta stepping up to fight this guy. Regardless
Never.
of whatever happens, he could go and just sell houses for the rest of his life. But you know what? He's still the absolute fucking savage that stepped up to fight somebody that nobody on the planet really wanted to, and said, "Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it," on a day's notice.
It was the Rocky 1 effect. All he wanted to do was go the distance. All he wanted to do was go the distance.
And how
make it a
crazy
fight.
would it have been? How crazy would it have been if one of those raging bombs would have clipped? Because it's possible. With let's be honest.
Ask Diego Sanchez how possible it is.
How possible it is? Number one, yeah, but he got hometowned in that one, bro. But Khabib's not winning any K1 battles here. All right, it was very possible for one of those to sneak through. All right, and forevermore, he's gonna be an absolute fan favorite. Love him or hate him, everything that he did to make the UFC get pissed off at him, he erased. Yes, over the weekend.
For sure.
You want to break up another fucking hotel room? Go ahead. Here, we'll buy one for you.
Khabib won the fight. Khabib got the belt, but Al was the star.
And let's not give Khabib a pass. Another thing that's gonna rouse me out of my crazy malaise here. Let's not give Khabib a pass on shouting out a Russian crime lord in his post-fight fucking commentary. Let's not give him one of his biggest sponsors. One of his biggest sponsors, and this dude has definitely presided over mass graves. All right, that's not. It's he didn't want to translate it in English. He just said it in Russian. But if you go, I'm not saying I have people that can translate Russian for me and say, "Don't knock on my door." All right, we're already at odds as it is. I love the country, but no, this guy, it was one of these, Putin flunkies. For fuck's sake, you're gonna shout that dude out? If anybody's stock rose in my opinion, it was 100% Al Iaquinta. As much as I love Khabib, you're gonna be a jackwagon and fucking, and as much of a gangster as he was during this whole McGregor stuff, kind of came off as a little bit of a piece of shit in terms of bringing up somebody that's a geopolitical asshole, in his commentary and be like, yeah, thanks. It's like, he's honestly, dude, he's up there with the Chechen or the president of Georgia. You know what I'm talking about, the guy that puts on the Akhmat fights, right? And he's like Putin's assassin over there, I think, in the country of Georgia. You know who I'm talking about, the guy that was shaking hands with Frank Mir and Verdum when they went over there, and it was like a weird sort of situation. No, it was like one of those, yeah.
I'm sorry, I love the Russians. I can't help it. They're just badass gangsters.
I mean, me too. 9 times out of 10, I get that, but this guy's a fucking war criminal. You can't be shouting out a war criminal at the end and be like, yo, shout out to Coney 2020. No, you can't. It's not.
Why not? They tried to make Hillary Clinton president.
You know what? Let me tell you, this other guy would make Hillary and Trump look like angels. It was, bro. I'm trying to get this guy's name. But it's somebody take the mic away from him when he's doing his shout outs, all right? Honest to God. It'd be like shouting out, hey, shout out to everybody that kept Mandela in prison for 35 years. Hooray.
Let's keep it on the positive side for Khabib right now. Because he's 26-0. He's got the belt. Who's taking it from him?
The Hague for war crimes. No, I don't. I mean, who else? The UN Security Council. Nobody. All right, the two legends that I came up with earlier in my rant, Ben Askren, GSP. That's it. Only because they have potentially antidotes to the wrestling, and I don't even think I have those 2 fights as even money. We both know how good they are grappling wise. So, somebody that catches them. It has to be one of those weird situations, somebody that catches them coming in. Al could do it with a full camp. Fuck it. Let Al have a chance. Give him a full camp.
Yeah,
You know?
he just and you can't blame him for being hesitant, not wanting to throw more than one strike. I think that's what Khabib was waiting for. You know what I mean? I think that's what he was waiting for. All right, he's going to throw the jab. I'm going to wait for him to throw a hook. Then I'm going to change levels and put him on his back. Because I mean, Khabib learned how to jab. You saw that because he, and everybody said, "Oh, he's tired." The guy had 150 strikes to Al's 19. It was a crazy number. It was a crazy number of strikes. Yes, it was just a jab, but it landed a lot. It landed a lot.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
the people that are taking the fight away from him, it's kind of like, why? How are you going to take it away from him? He did his thing.
Yeah.
He did his thing.
I don't, stop it. Right? If you don't like it, do something about it.
Exactly.
Al was trying. I'm not, that's not, I hope that, I think you understood that wasn't me.
This has nothing to do with Al. This has nothing to do with Al.
Other people, talking shit, be like, okay, man, do something about it then. What the fuck are you going to do?
The same people complain when all Khabib does is take somebody down and ground and pound them, which I don't understand how you can complain about that.
No, man.
He's not laying
because
on
it's not like he, because you know what? Yes, I get pissed off when it's lay and pray. We've seen lay and pray, right? We've seen hey, I'm just going to put my elbows by your hips when I'm in guard, put my head down so you can't hit me, no elbows, and then I'm just going to hold you down. I'm going to put my elbows and pinch your hips so you can't move and be offensive. No, he doesn't do that. He tries to advance position. He tries to hit you. He tries to smush you. He tries to put the weight of Jesus on you. Well, not the Jesus, probably the weight of Muhammad. He is a Muslim. But
he's got the nastiest Kimura in the lightweight division.
Dude, he starts it and it's already 3 degrees too far. It's one of those where he snatches it already sunk. It's one of those types of Kimuras that just already hurt. You don't have time to tap sort of deal, which is why Michael Johnson holding out for as long was impressive. But dude, nobody at 155 has a fucking thing to say to him, and neither does anybody at 170. Woodley doesn't want any of the sauce for good reason.
No.
Come on.
No. And this is no disrespect to the fighters in that 155 division. That is a killer division. But, in every division, there's got to be that one guy, and Khabib's that guy. Khabib is that guy. And I don't care what Conor says. He don't want no fucking sauce. He don't want any part of that.
No, he wants
to go there with 20 guys to try and get it. That's what he needed to go there with 20 guys to try and get at him.
I mean, I'm not mad at him. I'd go with about 15 Puerto Ricans, with a couple knives and some machetes and shit. But I just think he's gonna try to milk it for the publicity and for the stats, and this might turn out to be like the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, where it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen too late. If it ever happens.
But here's my issue with what's happening. Tony didn't get hurt training. Tony got hurt doing press for the UFC. They stripped him of the interim belt. And Dana says, I'm never making this fight again. How could you never make the fight again? Khabib is the champ. Khabib is the champ. You have to make this fight now because if, Conor's not going to come back. I heard that there was a rumor that Conor and Floyd were going to fight in the UFC in a modified fucking rules fight. That's what supposedly that's what the UFC was supposed to announce before all this mishap happened. So if that's true, fuck you to Conor if that's true. Because that just proves that you're a fucking coward. That's coward.
I think that's move. What's going to happen.
That's coward move. So there's nobody else.
I'll be a coward for $200,000 and $200,000 million. I'll be a coward.
Don't call yourself the champ then. Call yourself the money guy.
You can call me Nancy if you pay me $300 million to do 60 minutes of work. Even 60 minutes of work. Let's do modified rules where it's an hour long at least to give we have breaks.
You pay me $300 million, I'm dressing like Oscar De La Hoya in those pictures with the red
Me
garters.
Too. I'm doing it, and I'm coming out like with the queer eye from Netflix guys as my entourage. I don't give a fuck, bro.
For $300 million, you could lather me up in lube, and I'll sing "I'm an Oscar Mayer wiener" in the middle of the octagon.
You know what?
I don't give a shit.
You know what's crazy is that would actually do some buys, Tommy. Don't sell yourself short, bro. I think that would generate some pretty good heat. But yeah, so who cares, man? Belts don't mean nothing. We talked about this. We've been over this. You know,
it's
call
coming
me a
back.
Coward, call me.
It's coming back.
Not.
It is coming back.
If it's coming
yes,
back, then why is the biggest fight a modified rules bout with a boxer? Like you want to tell me that, or does that not?
Because
I
think it's the world just wanting to see Floyd get embarrassed. That's what I think it is.
Modified rules is huge. Who the fuck knows what these modified rules do? You know?
Yeah, I wonder if it's like a bully beatdown kind of thing. Like 1 round is striking, 1 round is
oh my god, I can't. We need that show back because that was tremendous. Like I loved how after they kept on getting the shit kicked out of them, like getting the gear on and off was harder because they were just like because the guy kept on slow playing it. He was like, no, I'm having trouble getting this headgear off. No, my man, it's just because you don't want fucking Mayhem Miller to teabag you anymore.
Yeah,
or,
that was the only
Kevin
time
Casey.
that Mayhem Miller. That was the only time that Mayhem Miller and Jake Shields were friends.
Wasn't that crazy?
Jake Shields was one of the fighters.
Show. Yeah. And then I think they had some sort of religious beef, and it was only exacerbated by the fact that Mayhem Miller went on Christmas and took his clothes off and hung out at a church, and Jake Shields, being the good Christian boy that he is, was like, I don't play that mess. And then he had a beef. Then he had a rivalry. Probably called him a fake vegan. Mayhem's crazy. He knows right where to hit you to make you cry. He's a tough guy.
But
is he in jail? He should be in jail.
I don't know. I think he is.
He should be. He should be off the
I don't
train.
know, man. But to get back on the train here, don't you think they got to make the Khabib and Tony fight now? Like, it's got to happen.
They don't. No.
It's got to happen.
No, because you know what? Either Khabib or Tony pissed off a Haitian at some point in their preparation for the first fight, at which point there's a voodoo curse on this fight. Santeria is at an all-time high. All right? I don't know what El Kukui did to one of his titis to piss them off, and she put the Molokyo on this fight, or some war crime that Khabib did with his war crime boss of a sponsor, got some bad karma. But this fight's never going to happen. It's just not. Like, Dana White's never going to make it. He's gonna match them up against people that he hopes beats the shit out of them respectively, so this fight never gets made. Stop. Only the hardcore fans want to see it.
You know what scares me about that fight is that if it does really happen, it becomes lackluster. Like it's a disappointment.
No matter what happens, it's going to be anticlimactic. Because you know why? In order for it to live up to five marketing cycles, right, of the UFC marketing machine, in order for it to live up to that, one of them would have to have the Infinity Gauntlet on the way down to the fucking ring and have cosmic energies with which to do battle. And then the Avengers would have to get involved. Because it's been 5 fucking lead-ups. How much have they done for this fight? All right? And it hasn't happened, so no. It's just, I'm sorry. No matter what. Jesus could come down and fight Khabib and wrestle him, and then Isaac could do it because he's, the best Jewish wrestler, according to the Bible. And we could have like a fatal 3-way match. It still won't live up to the hype, okay? You want me to keep going here? Because you're absolutely right. It's going to be anti-fucking climactic. 5 lead-ups? Impossible.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, man, because then it's just like, who does Khabib fight in the lightweight division? They're not going to have him win the belt and then go up right away. He's got to have somebody. Yeah. You just want to see that girl get just obliterated.
I'm just, I just want to see that jaw get its get its comeuppance.
Its comeuppance.
You know. Yeah, I'm telling you. There you go. You know right where I was going with that, too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's awesome because, you know, you and I have been on the Khabib train since the very start of the show. We said he was going to win the belt. We said he was going to remain undefeated. But it's almost getting towards that Ben Askren level. Where
That's who needs to happen. All right?
You think
and you
Ben's
know what?
making
Dana might do it. No, they should just fight at 170. They should, no. Make it a catch weight. Have it be like 162 or whatever.
165.
Right? Yeah. In between both, you know, and make that happen.
Because we got Kevin Lee versus Barboza. I don't see the UFC making, even if Barboza just knocks everybody out, I don't see them doing that fight again. Barboza and Khabib, just because of how it went the first time.
That was a tough.
I don't see them making that. No. I mean, if Kevin Lee beats Barboza, maybe Kevin Lee against Khabib, because they haven't done that yet.
I can see that.
Who knows, man? Because if they're not going to do Tony.
No, they won't. I'm telling you, the second that you book it, one of them gets hurt. Or like the IRS is going to come after Khabib.
Here's what you do. You promote a pay-per-view. You don't say who the main event is going to be. Say it's a big surprise. You don't say it. You don't jinx it. You don't announce it. You stack the card, and then Tony comes out, and then Khabib comes out, and there's your main event. That's what you got to do. That's what I think you have to do.
You just kind of, have it be like fucking Sting coming out of the rafters, just dropping down. I like that. I'm actually with it. All right, I think so.
Somebody's gonna get hurt that way, but
no,
they just don't announce it.
Yeah,
they don't announce it. They just
it.
stack the card, and they don't say what the main event is going to be, but they say it's going to be the biggest main event, and you're going to get a whole bunch of people buying it just to see what the hell it is. Is it Conor that's going to come back? Is he going to be fighting Khabib? Who knows?
You bring them both out.
It's a mystery.
With hoods on their heads, and then Khabib will be like, "Yo, it's like home," It's like, yo.
You go full WWE with no
100%.
spoilers, no spoilers, and that's how you do it.
Nah.
I think that would get them a ton of pay-per-view buys, and you can't jinx the fight.
Haitian voodoo, though. I think they pissed off the based god, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think that's the only way it's going to work. That's the only way it's going to... Unless Khabib retires, Tony's got to get his shot. I mean, the guy's on a, 13-fight win streak?
Yeah. He's 700. Get his shot. No, he's on 700 wins at this point. What are you doing? It's tough.
It's either that or, move up.
That's... What do I keep saying, bro? Move up.
No, I mean for Tony.
I really think that they're not going to have that fight at 155, so I think both of them could potentially get up there. Because that cut for Tony's not a walk in the park either. And he's a tall, lanky. It worked for RDA.
Yeah.
Issuing the cut, right?
Yeah. How excited are you for that fight?
Oh, for RDA Covington?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I want to see Covington. I want to see him lose a kidney during that fight. I really do. I can't. The boomerang T-shirt was a great
Oh, that was
move.
wonderful.
That was, I like somebody in RDA's ear is doing the promotion right. They're not letting them talk too much, and they're just being like, let me put up pictures, all right? Because I sound like Frankenstein. So they're doing it the right way. He does. He's terrible on the mic. I like that,
That's a great fight. And just announced today, Nick Diaz is cleared and everything by USADA and cleared to fight.
Yeah, but that's a big if.
We see Woodley and Nick Diaz.
The second that Woodley's arm is okay, he takes that fight because it's easy money for him.
Mhm.
And it's a big name, so it's easy,
Yeah.
good paying cash at that point. I agree.
It's what Woodley wants. He's
and
calling
then
him out.
it buys him 6 months to hope that like Khabib gets hit by a car or something, and something tragic happens. You know, like he fucks with the wrong bear. You know, and the bear forgets the script and just mauls him.
So what do you think about that fight? Who do you think wins, Woodley or Nick Diaz?
Oh, Woodley. Woodley
Yeah,
all day.
me too.
Oh, he's easily.
Me too.
Not even, especially after the layoff. And this is one of those where I'm glad Chris, is taking the night off because he would be like, I don't know. No, bro, no, stop it. Stop it. All right? No way. There's Nick Diaz. Unless he actually tries ninja shit with, like, throwing smoke bombs and whatnot. Like, unless there's white phosphorus that gets set off in the middle of that fucking octagon. And even then, I see Woodley lashing out with one of those bombs. Fuck you.
I don't even think it's the bombs. I just don't think Nick will be able to stop the takedowns.
The wrestling, yeah. I think, yeah. And hopefully just, mounts him, beats him up. I love Nick Diaz.
You saw that in the GSP fight. You know what it is? I want to like the Diaz
just
brothers.
Do it.
I do. I know. You know
to.
why? You know why?
Oh, God.
Because it's situations like this where it's just like, okay, you haven't won a fight in 7 years. Now, granted, a lot of that time you've taken off, but in those years when you did have a fight, you didn't win. You beat an over-the-hill BJ Penn. That was his last win.
Yeah.
BJ Penn.
I mean, that's claim to fame, though. It's BJ.
It would have been claim to fame in 2005.
Hey, it worked for Yair Rodriguez, right? He's getting people calling him out now. All right, he's punching that meal ticket. He owes that Hawaiian dinner.
It worked. It worked in 2005, maybe if it happened then.
Yo, if I beat BJ Penn now, I tell everybody about it.
But then you have Nate making comments about the main event that just passed, and he's turning down fights left and right.
He wants that big money fight, bro. And they'll give it to him, too.
Some people said that he turned down a fight with Khabib.
So would I.
So I get it. But
I mean, come on.
What big money fight are you expecting to get?
Connor.
Oh, God, nobody wants nobody with brains wants to see the third fight. Like, it's done. It's done.
Hey, man. Smart money and dumb money spends the same at the titty bar. All right? So, I'm telling you, the cash is king, bro. People would watch that. I'm telling you, man. The casual fan that's going to make that into the moneymaker that it can be, it's not going to be us. We're going to watch regardless. They're not pitching us a fucking thing anymore, Tommy. All right? We're the old geezers. We're left behind. All right? They want the ADD Adderall crowd. All right? Shout out to Adderall. Got me through a couple semesters. But, like, that's who they want. They don't want us, man. They're fighting every other channel. Not, what MMA am I going to watch today? No, am I going to watch MMA? Am I going to watch boxing? Am I going to watch, drag car racing? Am I going to watch base jumping? No, that's the crowd they're going after. And McGregor, Diaz 3 captures all that interest. Same as Mayweather versus McGregor in whatever cockamamie rules fight they'll come up with. It's going to be chess boxing by the time it's fucking done. I swear to God, that's going to be. I wasn't with you on Circus for the other fight, for the boxing. I know how you kept on saying that, Tommy. But with this, if it comes to fruition and it's a modified anything, we've jumped the shark, all right? Officially at that point.
I guess.
They'll do it. But the money's there,
I
so
guess.
they'll do it. So fuck you.
And, you mentioned McGregor. Everybody who loves memes, there is a great one that is floating around Instagram right now. It is a picture of Conor. They got a full frontal picture of Conor throwing the dolly and the caption is when someone tries to steal your Lucky Charms.
It's the fucking truth. You tell me. You tell me. It's legit.
Oh my God. Well,
Yo,
hey buddy, listen. This was we had a good one here tonight. I was really glad that we were able to break down that entire event. We missed Chris again tonight, but he was just so lucky to have been at UFC 223. So
I wanted to talk to him about it. What the fuck, man? I miss him. He was our man on the ground.
Yeah.
Jesus, he was in Beirut.
Repping the Pride Rules gear.
Honestly. The fuck.
Well, Chris, we miss you.
I love
whenever
you
get out of, I understand that the government took the baby. You got caught at a school again.
Oh,
hopefully,
no.
Hopefully
God.
they let you out sometime soon.
You legit mentally jujitsu'd me. I'm like, where is he? Oh no, yeah. Hats off to you, sir. Not even mad.
Oh, come on. It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games.
Till he gets swatted for fucking child endangerment for no good reason, aside from the podcast. God.
Thank God he doesn't have any kids, right?
Seriously. Whatever is in his hand, it's a phone, all right? It's always a phone, guys. Don't shoot first. Ask him questions. He's what? Anyway.
Yeah, man. Hopefully he comes back. Hopefully he comes back.
I need him in my life.
Yeah.
I miss him.
Well, just so everybody knows, we do have a guest that is coming on next week. Steve put him to sleep, Walker. He's going to be fighting for a belt in Lion Fight coming up real soon. Actually, this month. I think April 28th. So we're going to have him on next week. Our buddy Tyler King set it up. Tyler might join us on this call. So next week should be a lot of fun.
That's going to be tremendous. Tyler's the fucking man.
Yes. So everybody needs to go on YouTube and check out Steve Walker because this guy is an animal.
Yes, he is.
There is a great YouTube video of him in one of his fights, and they did it with the audio from Street Fighter. It is magnificent.
Shit, are you serious?
Yes,
No.
it is magnificent.
That's
all
phenomenal.
you hear is Tiger.
Oh shit, the fuck. That'll do me in. I'm gonna hunt for that now. Like that's gonna be my evening.
Yes.
My evening chuckles.
Yes.
That's great.
I'm gonna put it.
Awesome.
I'm gonna put it on the podcast page. I might even try and get it on our Instagram. So definitely get ready to listen to that. I'm excited for that next week. So shout outs to our sponsors. They help keep the lights on here. 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, 2 Minute Warning Sports 360. Omar, this was such a great show. El Profesor, the Latin sensation that's taken over the nation. I am the Reverend Tommy D. We are Pride Rules Podcast. Good night.